What's going on YouTube? It's the Paydirt Pioneer coming back at you with another Paydirt review. Today on the docket we are continuing on with our 12 Paydirts of Christmas. We are on day 8 of 12. I feel like I've been recording these non-stop as of late to try to get them out on time. But we're on day 8, and for day 8 we have an 8-ounce bag of Paydirt, courtesy of an eBay seller. To learn a little bit more about this Paydirt, let's take a look at what their description says. Alright, and welcome back. So as you can see, we are guaranteed a little bit of gold, a tenth of a gram at least. I marked this one as the 8-ounce bag, so I remembered for my own sake. Let's get this cracked open and see what we're looking at. I mean, nothing really all that crazy here. It was double bagged. I don't see any loose material in there. It looks like this bag held up pretty well. It looks like very sandy material. He does say it's concentrates. I'm kind of nervous if it's just clay sand. I guess we're about to see and find out. At the bare minimum, though, we do have some gold coming back. I'm going to get this dumped out into this pan, and we're going to take a look at the material before we classify it down. So it is very dusty material, very dirty. I'll make sure to rinse out that bag so we have all the material recovered. And I don't know, it might not actually be play sand. It looks like we have a little bit of a mix of material in here. I'm not really sure what the concentrates look like, though. Well, let's get it classified down, see what we're working with, and see how much gold we can ultimately recover from this eBay seller. Alright, and welcome back. So as you can see, some more interesting material than I thought it would be. I have a little bit more hope for this Paydirt outside of just getting the tenth of a gram of gold as promised for recovery. In terms of plus 10 mesh, we had 3 little rocks here. Not going to worry about classifying that out. I'll make sure they get rinsed off to get any wash off of them, but we're not going to, have our own classification for that. We do have our bigger material, that's plus kitchen strainer, though. Very dusty material, so this is all going to get washed off. We'll have the wash off done separately along with the magnetics. For our next size up, we have the 10 to 20 mesh. Decent amount of material there, followed by the 20 to 30 mesh. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the distribution of material because that's our tiniest material, minus 30 mesh and smaller. So you have a pretty good amount of Paydirt in each level. So ideally, you should be getting some different varying amounts of gold. We already took the magnetics out. That's what we'll pan out first before doing the wash off. Again, I am kind of skeptical. To be fair, the eBay seller is very clear where he says, hey, this is for educational purposes. You're not going to be, getting your value back. I would like to see a little bit more than a tenth of a gram. That's what we've been promised, though, so we'll make sure to get at least that out. Hopefully a little bit more. Without any further ado, though, let's see what we're getting ourselves into, how much gold we get back, and whether or not our 8th Paydirt is on Santa's naughty or nice list. Let's go. But without any further ado, let's see if our Paydirt gets that tenth of a gram returned, if it has any more than that we can get out of it, and if it's going to be on Santa's naughty or nice list. Let's go.
Before we continue with the video, I just wanted to ask that if you enjoy the content you're seeing, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you want to support the channel financially, feel free to join the Patreon. We have a couple of big exciting things to do as we start to grow this channel and grow this community. Now, back to the video.
back. So let's go over this eBay seller, his 8-ounce Paydirt bag. Total cost today came out to $90.99. There was no shipping involved. eBay did have a bit of a tax, so I added an extra dollar just to be as concise as possible for a total investment of $20.90. Let's do a quick little refresh of our gold price back over 2,000, which is good. Grams recovered gold at 0.107 grams, giving us a gold value of $7.07, or a return on investment of 35%, and an RI score then of 3.54. In terms of SPDD, so for shipping, it came very quick, no issues. To packaging, wasn't really anything that special. I'm going to give it just a half. It's kind of just like in a little baggie, nothing crazy. Damage, there was none, so it's a 2. And then the description online, it's not a great description. It doesn't really go into in depth of what you're going to be finding gold wise and all that. But he is also very clear with saying, like, hey, this is for entertainment purposes. You're not going to be making your money back. This is just to have fun paying for gold. So I'm going to be fair and give him a 1 out of 2. Lacking the description you want, but also being very upfront and honest that, his Paydirt is not going to be a great return on an investment. In terms of difficulty, this Paydirt, especially with the black standout, was way too easy. And everything kind of just fell right off. All the gold was big enough and, flattened down so you can see it, that, I never really had any issues getting, cleaned up or anything. It was probably the easiest Paydirt I've ever done. I'm only going to give it a half. It was just too easy for me to enjoy it. In terms of the variety as well, you actually have a decent bit of variety for a bag the size of some of your bigger material. You had some of the middles and smallers. Now that is going to go into the gold type, but for a variety, it's pretty fair. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. In terms of gold type, you only got some smashed up pieces of gold, nothing natural, nothing small, nothing too big. It was all in that very middle range. And that kind of takes away the fun of panning from you when you're getting just the exact same type of gold. You don't have to be on the lookout for anything else. I'm going to give that a 1.5. Actually, I'm just going to give it a 1 out of 5. Not very impressed at all with that. And then for the value of this bag, as someone that's panned a couple of different times, I don't really see a value in a bag like this. I don't know what you're getting out of it. You already know the process of panning. It's so easy to find the gold. You're not going to get a grade or a buy from it. It's just nothing special for me. I'm going to give it just a 1 out of 5. That's because it's a very low score on this bag of 38.90. Even though it did have a guaranteed 10th of a gram of gold, it's still going to end up on saying it's not A-list, because when you see red, that means you got us some snake oil. I will say, if you have, like a little kid that wants to paint it, this would be a really good bag for them, especially when it's that black standout, because it can give them that practice of, what they should be doing to recover the gold. The gold's easy to spot and find out. The rest of the material is easy to pan back and pan off. Anyone that wants a little bit of a challenge and wants the enjoyment or just wants a good return on investment, this bag isn't going to be it. So unfortunately, this eBay seller is also going to end up on Santa's naughty list. That's all I have for you guys today. We are churning through these days, hoping to wrap this up within the next couple of weeks. Thank you for sticking along and following along and helping us get some gold back. I've been the Paydirt Pioneer. Keep on prospecting, and please don't be buying no snake oil Paydirt.